Hey guys, Insomniac666 here with finally the hero patch day is finally here, and after playing for 6 or 7 hours straight and never getting the Countess, at 1 a.m. last night I finally got the Countess, and I'm pretty happy about how she turned out. I don't think I did very well in this map. I mean, in this game, I made a fair amount of mistakes. I don't think I really built her deck out very well. I mean, obviously, I sort of just built it from what I thought would work well with her. So it didn't go out entirely perfectly, but still, nonetheless, I had fun with it, even though it took me 7 hours to freaking get her. But she seems fun to play with. Like, she definitely is totally like a burst caster type person, like right here. Almost burst that guy down, and right here the guy thinks he can escape. I see he's trying to get out, get in, finish him off. If only I'd done it a little bit quicker, then I could have squared back to where I was and they could have gone over the edge, but you know, I still am able to get back without dying, which is really good. So this is definitely a useful thing early game, is having those three abilities that can burst so quickly and so easily early game is a huge benefit to this type of character. And once again, I think I made a lot of mistakes with her build. I kind of built her out like a corruption growth chimera almost, which I realize now is probably wasn't the smartest idea. I forgot sort of one of the bigger components that she needs, which is she needs mana, obviously. And right here we got come in for another kills. So once again, it's a very sort of assassin-like character I'm able to play with this, and I'm able to burst down a wave really quickly, get in there, get some good damage in. I get followed though by the Greystone, but fortunately, because I had the red buff, Greystone isn't able to come in and get me. I kind of go for a suicide kill right here, as I see this other Countess very low and used up her abilities. But this Greystone comes in for the cleanup kill, and hindsight 2020, probably shouldn't have done that because none of my teammates picked up on left lane, and we then lose the tower. Once again, not the best situation to have gone, but you know, what else can you do? And then they wombo comboed me very well there, and tower dived on me and killed me, and they taken left tower very, very well. So I think I did well in the assassination parts, but the holding down a lane by yourself, I'm definitely not as good, and I think that's because of the lack of mana I put into this build. But yeah, no, overall I think the character's great. I think the real issue has been these character days when you really want to play that new character, and there's absolutely very slim chance of you ever doing that because everyone else wants that character. So that was definitely a hugely frustrating part of the whole process. I mean, I spent close to 6 to 7 hours just trying to get a game where I could play her, and it's my first game. So it's like, for people that want to play her and get better with her, it's like the chances, especially when she first comes out, are slim to none. Right here I get double teamed, but you know, whatever. And so I think something Epic should do for the first few days after they introduce a new character is they should introduce two queue options for the first couple days of this new character. And what it should be is like, okay, if you don't want to play the new character, you can queue up as normal, and it'll be the normal speed that it normally is, just as fast, and that's great and all. But I think they then should have another queue where if you queue up into it, you're able to wait an extra amount of time and get to play as the Countess. Like, you know, just it's I guess a way of evening out your time waiting, instead of like me where I waited 6 to 7 hours to play this new character that I really wanted to play. Quang, I don't think Quang was no near as popular as her, but I really wanted to play, and I can't even guarantee that I'll be able to do that over 6 to 7 hours is kind of ridiculous in a lot of ways. It's something that I hope they can. Maybe just the fact that there's aren't as many characters as other MOBAs. Maybe that's a huge issue, but you know, maybe once they add more characters, that then there'll be more people who are just locked into their character that they want to play, and hopefully that'll take some people away from trying out new characters all the time, or totally just always trying out the newest character, and for the first couple days that's the character that only gets picked. But you know, that's, you know, it's a small complaint. I mean, I think Countess is far more popular, but here's a good use of Countess's skills on this Iggy. I use the ult, get close, good closing distances with the square, and I'm able to, especially with the lifesteal that I put into this character, I'm able to sort of buff it back up without having to go back, you know, port back home, which is great because then I'm able to push up on the tower, take out this tower, and definitely my KD is definitely nothing to be envious about, but I think that's also the fact that I didn't give her a blink charm, I didn't specialize in mana or cooldown, I just did health and, well, actually not even really health, I did mostly physical strike and armor penetration, thinking that I could be more of an assassin character, but I realized that this isn't, once again, this isn't a jungler, it's not a chimera, it's a sort of a laner with some slight assassin qualities to her. And to be successful in that department, you kind of need to have the sustainability of being able to be out in the lane for a long period of time, so that's why the mana is important and the cooldown is important. And right here I try and go for a kill, but then I realize she had a buddy and I get completely screwed over. But I think that this character overall is definitely a good piece for the meta to allow, you know, I think there's a little too many characters. I mean, I think it's smart that they did it in the beginning to have sort of not as many burst characters or high finesse characters, sort of those consistent rock type characters. You don't want to introduce super high finesse characters super early in the game, because then you have nowhere, because, you know, you can only really go up in finesse, you can't really, it's hard to go down, or, you know, they want to, you know, players who want to start off, they start off with those simple characters, but then they want to go up, and then they want those new characters who also go up, they want that fresh new thing, and then they also want the more finesse, so I think it's a good idea that they introduced her now rather than earlier. And obviously the whole Halloween thing with her is, you know, they're definitely into doing the whole seasonal promotion thing, especially with all of the skins and things like that. And I looked at the price. I never really cared too much about skins, really. I spent some of the coins that they originally give you at the beginning, because I think I had PlayStation Plus, so I got a Founders Pack with it. But some of the skins are super expensive. I looked at the pack for all of the Halloween skins, and that's like, it's gonna be like $20 to $25 for 6 skins. It's like I value I value digital property, but I don't value it so much that for one person to get 6 skins, it costs them at a discount. Supposedly this is discounted almost like $20 something. That's, you know, that's definitely a sort of a level of ridiculousness. And hopefully, you know, obviously these are like special promotional ones, and they're, you know, and I totally get them trying to want to get the revenue out. And I mean, the game is free to play, so it's not like you need it, and so, you know, I definitely can't complain in that department. And right here I get totally just deathballed right here because she has no good escapes. That's why in my future build I have a blink charm of her. But, you know, that's, you know, the whole skin economy or whatever. It's just as long as it doesn't become a CS:GO situation, it's definitely not the end of the world. And I think the thing I realized that was sort of wrong with my build is I didn't give her the mana pool that she probably needed to defend lane for longer periods of time. The lifesteal that I was giving her really wasn't doing it, which I'm a little disappointed about, because I thought that, you know, her sort of the vampire-ness of her character maybe they would build in some sort of thing to make lifesteal better for her, or maybe in the future if they buff up what lifesteal can do, that'll help. But I really thought that because she was like a laner with assassin qualities, she was going to be able to sustain well in the lane, get sort of a slow push going, and then burst someone really quickly when they weren't expecting it, or they were in a bad position, or they had a buddy coming up to help gank. But it sort of became more of a... She seems to be more of just a similar laner caster, in the sense that she's able to stay in the lane, keep the lane occupied, and then wait for a team fight to come. Like right here, this is a great example. Against the Countess, I get her down, and I burst her down very easily. And while that's going on, I'm able to help the... Now everyone's disadvantaged on the enemy team. They're 2v3 right now. We get them down. Muriel ults. The AE tries to escape. But fortunately, I'm able to close the distance. My teammates are supposed to help get in some of the damage right there. And then, you know, everyone's pretty much used up all their abilities, so it's just time until we whittle them down. And this Gideon tries to come in and get the cleanup kills. Gets one, but then we're able to take him out. So that's one of the great things about the Countess, is that she offers a level of chaos and unpredictability in team fights that I think is pretty useful and pretty unique in a lot of ways. And I try to push for a inhibitor here to try and even it up, but my teammates did not come to help me out, and it did not pan out for me. But that's somewhat of a disappointing thing, because I really want like sort of the Chimera style lifesteal thing to become a more successful play style, because Chimera is really the only one who makes it work, and that's because he has a special ability that's entirely devoted to that. And right here, come in, ult the Muriel. She just tries to ult away, and it just doesn't work out for her. Once again, great things for the Countess. I think one other thing that I forgot to do in her build is the cooldown. Like I was waiting for way too long to get those abilities back. Like the burst is great, but I need to be able to keep doing those bursts over and over again, rather than burst, wait, long period of time, burst, wait, long period of time, and then run out of mana way too quickly. And right here we try and make a good little push. It doesn't really work out too well, because we're just not, my team isn't communicating very well. I'm being left out in the open just a little bit too much. That's why 12 deaths is definitely not a good look, but obviously this is my first time playing the character, so of course I'm probably going to be pretty bad with her. And also I completely don't think I built her right, which I am correcting. But I do want to try and get better at her. I think I might choose her to be a character I try and get good at, if I'm able to do that, you know, if I'm able to get enough games with her, because that's not going to happen for a couple days at least. If it's going to take, you know, if it's going to take 6 or 7 hours for me to get one game with her, and it's going to be a while for me to get good at her, but I would hopefully that'll drop. And then right here we are about to lose our inhibitor. And they try and just come in for the kill. A Muriel and a Greystone are pretty good sustain characters, so lose that. But thanks for watching. See ya.